All right, welcome everybody. This is the Chesapeake Civitan District Recruitment webinar. This is one of 3 webinars we have scheduled, January 28th, and it's 4:05 p.m. approximately. So welcome everybody. And my name is Mark Eisinger. I am the 2009-2010 Civitan International President. And I've participated in providing recruitment seminars across the years. My first new club I built was back in 1998. And since then, I've worked on 15 different clubs. 12 of those actually have come to fruition. The most recent was in Harrisburg, Hershey area called Capital Region Civitan Club. And we do have participants on the webinar today from that club. So welcome to those people. And this would be our schedule for today. We're going to be talking about why we should recruit, who to recruit, and then we're going to talk about traditional locations, traditional ways of recruiting, and then, as I promised you, some new locations, new ways, and then a list of things that would be for what is next.
Yay. Looks like he just started. Yeah.
All right, so first of all, why recruit? And I would like to add on to these. So if you have some other ideas on why we should recruit, please chat with Denise. First of all, would be a need for more volunteers and more volunteer hours available. A lot of us have projects that we need more volunteers, or we need more time from individuals to be able to volunteer. So we're looking for more volunteers that can provide more hours. There's more demand for leaders. A lot of our Civitan clubs have the same leaders over and over again, and we need to bring up new leaders in our organization. So that's a great reason to recruit. Yes, there are some people that we end up recruiting and they become president the following year. That's our fast track program. That's not ideal. We do want to give them some time to learn and to get started, but identifying those potential leaders in our community is a great way to begin recruiting. Our normal annual turnover, 15 to 20% of your club will be going away. Wide range of different reasons. Work-related, family-related. We lose people to death. We lose people to moving to different cities and locations. But normally, our annual turnover is 15 to 20%. So right away, we've got to recruit just to fill in what we have lost in the past year. Next one is to make a greater impact on our communities. It's a great way for us to be able to increase the amount of funding, volunteering that we can do in our communities if we have more people. And then new ideas for projects and fundraisers. A lot of clubs are kind of worried about that they're doing the same projects year in and year out. They've kind of lost the enthusiasm, or they've lost the volunteers to be able to do those. Sometimes you have to replace those projects with new ideas and new fundraisers, and new members allow you to be able to do that. Did we have any other ideas that came through?
Yes, we did have a new location idea, Brewster's.
Oh, a new location idea for Brewster's. That's not part of this, the why recruit part, but we'll keep that on file. All right, thanks, Linda, for that input. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons to recruit new members. One of those reasons is that we all know is our Civitan Creed. My eyes search for others to join in the fellowship and service of Civitan. So it's part of our creed to go out and look for others to be involved in what we feel is a great organization. Who'd recruit? Well, the first thing that I always do is I always have at least 4 people that I'm focused on to ask to join to Civitan. And so I've made up a 3x5 card, and I encourage you to get a piece of paper or a 3x5 card or some way to write this down. And I want you to go ahead and put in, for now, go ahead and put in your name, not my name, your club name, and then write down 4 names of people that you would like to invite into Civitan in 2017. Now, this doesn't mean just in your club. It could be other clubs. So just write this down for now. We'll have you fill in the blanks a little bit later, because I'm going to help you be able to think of people and to be able to fill in those blanks later on in this presentation. There is a lady that I met in Philadelphia at the leadership conference. It was the nonprofit service club leadership conference. Her name was Cynthia DeMore. She's a speaker, she's a trainer, she's an author, she's a comedian. And she said there's 3 reasons why people join service organizations: to make a difference, to learn new things and skills, and to meet people. And so I relate that really well to Civitan. Here we have the same thing that she mentioned: to make a difference. Our answer is service. To learn new things and skills. Our answer, knowledge. And to meet people, fellowship. So the 3 things that she mentioned of why people join service organizations is exactly what we have in Civitan. So who should we invite? Baby boomers are retiring. There's a lot of baby boomers that are becoming empty nesters. These are great opportunities for these individuals as they have more free time available. They are looking for ways to donate time to get involved in the community. Denise just recruited a member who had recently retired. She recruited her husband, and now they're very active in our Frederick Club. So this is a great focus of individuals, and in a lot of cases, this is people that we see quite often in our traditional ways of meeting people. A lot of clubs are asking, well, we need to get younger people in our organization. That's true, but your club needs to kind of look at the median age in their club now, and then look at 2 to 3 decades younger. So look at children age or grandchildren age. Going further than that, it may be difficult for them to get in sync with your club. The different generations, Generation X and Y, are upcoming generations. They are definitely involved in many of our Civitan clubs, especially our new Civitan clubs. People who have siblings, children, nieces, nephews with developmental disabilities are great people to invite into Civitan. That's how I got involved with Civitan. You may have heard me before. My sister is affected as a slow learner when she was growing up. That's what she was labeled. My nephew is a Special Olympic athlete. So people that are affected, the families that are affected, not only of developmental disabilities, but think of all of the things that Civitan International Research Center researches: multiple sclerosis, Rett syndrome, there's head injuries, spinal cord injuries. I mean, there's so much information out there that we can share with individuals and families that have this affected in their families or their lives. Young professionals. There's a lot of young professionals that are looking for leadership opportunities. We have a nonprofit organization in their community, and we need leaders. So what a better way for young professionals to try out leadership, to be on a board of directors, to be president of a club. These young professionals, like I said, they're looking for leadership opportunities. So we can provide that. And then it's homecoming year. The 100th birthday of Civitan allows us to invite former Civitans to join our club, rejoin our club, and there's no reinstatement fee. So they just have to start paying dues. But that's also, former Civitans of other clubs, former junior Civitans, former campus Civitans. There's a lot of other former that we can also invite into our clubs. For when you're recruiting business persons, this is from a Civitan video, by the way, and I agree with it. Take a look at your 5-mile radius from your median location. And I'm using Harrisburg as an example. But if you draw a line of 5 to 10 miles away from your meeting location, this is going to be prime people for you to be able to recruit into your club. It's only going to take them 5-10 minutes to leave their work and go to a lunch club or go to an evening right after work club type of a venue. So this is a great way to start looking for business people that are right down in your area. Who else? Family members is a great source of Civitans. Parents, siblings, cousins, adult children, and then a lot of us consider close friends as our family members as well.
Linda had a comment that said, not in the DMV area. It has to be a smaller radius because in the DMV area, you go a mile or two outside because it's so densely populated, you're going into another region. So just being aware of rural versus urban. Okay.
I'm not sure if everybody heard that. Are you hearing Denise talk in this? Can anybody chat that? She was talking about,
Yes.
You said a DMV area?
Delaware, Maryland, Virginia.
Okay, Delaware. That's where I got kind of stuck.
Or DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Okay, DC, Maryland, Virginia area. It may be a little bit different in the radius because of the DMV area. Okay.
Because of traffic.
Sounds good. Because of traffic. Okay. So here's the family members. And like I said, that we are looking for members in other clubs. So think about siblings, cousins, adult children, parents that are in other states and other areas of the United States or North America for that matter. This is a long slide for you. It's the ABCs of new members. ABCs of new members are just ideas of people from A to Z that you can think about. And I want you to take out that piece of paper with those 4 drawn lines on it with no names on it and start looking through this. We've talked about baby boomers. We've talked about family, businesses. But here are some specific occupations. And I can tell you right off the bat, accountants are very common to join a Civitan club. Bankers, very common. Clergy, financial advisors, HR managers, insurance agents, that's huge. Lawyers, we have a lot of lawyers in our organization, mortgage bankers. We have a lot of nonprofit people in our organization and nurses. Office people, real estate agents. The first club I built in 1998, almost half the club was real estate agents. Somebody asked, do you have to be a real estate agent to be in this club? No, we don't. The other thing I want to mention too is if you're going to be looking for people to help you with social media, web sites and so forth, recruit a webmaster. A lot of them are interested in helping a nonprofit organization. Now let's talk about traditional locations. Where do we meet people? Well, we meet people at work. We meet people at school if you go to school or your children's school. We are invited to parties around the Christmas time. Who did you meet during those outings? We meet people at church. Chamber of Commerce is a great place to meet people, and there's events that they have, networking events and so forth. There are actually networking organizations that many of you might be involved in that you can bring Civitan in or meet people to invite to a meeting or a project. I want to also mention, I've got the picture of the Civitan pin Civitan name badge. If you're wearing your Civitan pin every day, you're going to have people that's going to ask you, what is Civitan? If you happen to wear your name badge after a meeting and you run into people and they say, well, what's that name badge from? You can start a conversation about what is Civitan. What are the traditional locations? There's local businesses, as I mentioned before. You can volunteer for nonprofits and attend nonprofit events. And there's other conferences that you might be able to attend. Nonprofit, for-profit, places that you can meet people that you may not meet regularly. And I've got a blank line there. Is there anybody there that would be have another idea of other traditional locations that we meet people?
Lynn said that she just got a Civitan jacket to help her with people asking where she or what Civitan is.
Okay. So wearing logoed wear, apparel that you have, Civitan t-shirts or the 100-year logo on ours and so forth. That's another great thing to wear.
The Lindas say sports, playing sports.
Playing sports. Yeah.
Lori and Lance say Starbucks.
Go to Starbucks, hang out there for a while. Yep.
Mary and Jeff say athletic events.
Athletic events. Yep.
Miles says while waiting in the checkout line.
Grocery stores or otherwise. Yeah.
Lori says YWCA or in Frederick YMCA.
YWCA, YMCA. Planet Fitness if you belong to a fitness or a gym.
Yep. Mary said gym. Linda says theater acting.
Yep. It's very good. Ed Coleman's an actor. Got to find out about his acting. And I used to be a thespian, so I know how it is.
Linda says the metro.
Ah, metro being the subway?
The commuting, yep.
Commuting, yeah.
While you're commuting.
These are great traditional locations, so appreciate the
Angela
input.
Newman says out to eat.
Angela Newman, out to eat. That's a good reason to go out to eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to shift gears a little bit. We're going to talk about what are the traditional ways that we talk about Civitan and we invite people into Civitan. Of course, in person. I'm sure everybody that is attending today has heard what is Civitan.
Or asked it.
Or asked it, as a matter of fact. These are great people to do a quick elevator speech, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But invite them to a Civitan meeting. Then email. This gives you an opportunity to send an email to them, give them information about the Civitan organization, international, as well as your club. Mail. I know we don't mail things much anymore, and I think that if you do mail something nowadays, it's going to be a little bit more special than it used to be. Did not receive a lot of Christmas cards this year. Maybe it's just the way I am lately. But you don't receive as many birthday cards. So when you do receive something in the mail, if you're like me, it's like, wow, this is pretty neat. I like this. Make a phone call. I think a lot of us rely on email more than we do the phone. And sometimes just a phone call to remind them. You can email or mail a newsletter to them. Keep them informed. Maybe not stalk them or send them junk mail after a while, but send them mail occasionally to let them know what the club is up to. Provide an email notification of the meeting or a hands-on service project. Call to make sure they will be able to attend, or hey, do they need a ride? Maybe you can ride to the service project together. And then send them a thank you card or a letter for considering or joining Civitan. A lot of times people may not join the club, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't receive a thank you card for considering or participating in the service project or something like that. Repeat, repeat, repeat.
Miles says, I like doing special things like sending a letter or card. It makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Miles. Yeah, sending or a letter or card, like, yeah, that can make a real difference in communicating to these individuals. All right, it's time for some role play, and I'd like you to go ahead and text or chat with Denise if you're interested in participating, we'll take you off mute, and we'll go ahead and we'll do some role play. Now, you can choose which one you'd like to participate in or come up with a new one. I'm going to participate with you. This first one, I'm going to be the person who will be bringing up Civitan. You would be the person who is the potential Civitan. And then after that, I'd like you to be the Civitan, and I'm the person that doesn't know what Civitan is. So we'll do a couple or three of these, depending on the individuals who want to participate. Do we have any volunteers?
Not yet. They're all busy typing in
Yes, it must
right
be.
now.
It must be.
No, that's me.
No, it's
No, it's it. It's like hello. It's a.
You gotta hit it.
I will role play.
You will? Is this Angela?
Yeah.
All
All right, Angela. All right. So do you want to be a business owner or?
Yes. Business owners.
Business owner? Okay. All right. And are we meeting at maybe a chamber event
Sure.
or your office or something?
At the office. Walking in. You're walking
Okay,
into her
Denise.
office.
Okay, I'm going to walk into your office, Angela, and I'm going to meet up with you, okay?
All right.
All right.
Hi, I'm Angela Newman. Nice
Hi,
to meet
Angela.
you.
Nice to meet you, Angela. I'm Mark Eisinger. And I wanted to let you know I'm with actually Blackbaud, which is a software company for nonprofit organizations. But I came by today just to introduce you to Civitan. Civitan is a nonprofit organization, and we happen to have a club right here in this town. Did you know about Civitan?
No, I haven't heard of it.
Okay, we have an emphasis in helping people, but we kind of emphasize helping individuals with disabilities. So we're sort of like a service club that would emphasize helping individuals with developmental disabilities and other disabilities. We do a lot with Special Olympics in this area, and the ARC, a lot of those different things. We're looking for some additional people to be on our board or volunteer for our projects. And so I came in today to ask you or someone in your office if they would be interested in coming to learn more about our organization.
My schedule is pretty tight. What would be some of the benefits for my employees?
Well, first of all, you do have leadership opportunities. So if you have any young people on staff that may be wanting to learn how to be a leader or learn project management skills, this is a great opportunity for them. Other people that in your staff that may want to just volunteer for service projects, we have a lot of active service projects we do, and we do some things that we just kind of show up and get our hands dirty or help individuals. It kind of depends on what the individual is interested in.
What time of commitment, how much of a commitment would that involve?
Well, we meet a couple times a month for meetings, which are planning meetings, as well as sometimes we have some speakers that tell us about things going on in the community. And then we have at least one service project per month, or we have a fundraiser sometimes because we do want to generate some money so that we can do these service projects.
Okay. So that might be an opportunity as well for us to get some exposure with our business in the community.
Absolutely. Networking is not a focus of Civitan, but it just happens. You know, when you're working side by side with somebody at a service project and you find out that this person, you know, works in this industry, they're going to think of you immediately, and they're going to share it with their friends because they know you personally, and you get this trust that you don't have with just an advertisement.
Certainly. Well, I'm a firm believer that everybody loves a giver. A giver.
That's
goes
very
around.
true. Well, you know, we have meetings on the second and fourth Tuesday, right down at the pizza place down the block. Would you be interested in coming to our meeting and learning more about it? Or we're going to help a senior citizen center. We're going to do cards and letters for the holidays. Would you like to participate in that?
Probably, is it a lunch meeting or a meeting in the evening?
Whatever you want.
Okay. Well, I would say lunch. Lunch's probably going to work out better with my schedule.
Well, that's perfect because that's exactly when we meet.
Okay, great.
And by the way, our guests for their first time, they get lunch on me. So I would be happy to buy you lunch and introduce you to the rest of our members and guests.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
All right, Angela. Well, let me get your business card, and I'll follow up with you. I'll email you the information. I'll give you more information about Civitan International as well as our local club, and that way you can get a little bit familiar with it even before you attend. All right?
Great, thank you.
All right, Angela. Thanks a lot for attending today and participating in the role play. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Great job.
Thank you. Yep. All right. Great job. Do we have any other volunteers?
Miles says, lunch on Mark, sign me up. So I think that means he said, sign me up for the next role play.
Oh, okay. So if I buy you lunch, Miles, then you'll do the next role play?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. All right, well, I don't know. Can you unmute yourself?
I did.
You did. Okay. Hey. Hi, Miles.
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Good. Good. All right. So we're going to be, we're at a chamber event together. Would that be okay?
Works for me.
All right. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to be the guy that doesn't know anything about Civitan. And so somehow you get to me and you talk to me about Civitan. Sound good?
Sounds good. All right. Hey, what's that?
Take one.
Take one. All right. Hello, my name's Miles Miller. Who are you?
Mark Eisinger, rather kind of new in this area.
Okay. Well, Mark, I've been here a long time, so I'm glad we're kind of meeting each other today. Maybe we can help each other out. What brings you to the meeting tonight?
Well, as a new to the area, I thought I'd kind of venture out and meet some new people. I work with Blackbaud, and we have a accounting software for nonprofits that I'm a consultant with, and I work from home, so I don't get out much. So I thought I'd use this as a way to kind of meet up with some people.
Great idea. Absolutely. Well, I run my own company as well, so we have a lot in common in that area. I'm glad you came out tonight to meet some of us. One of the organizations that I'm involved in addition to the work that I do, is a nonprofit in the area. Have you ever worked with any nonprofits before, or been a part of any different organizations?
Yes, I have. I've volunteered for Habitat for Humanity and Special Olympics and some of those organizations.
Excellent. Well, this is an organization, actually, it's been around for about 100 years now, which when I first found out about it, I was like, how did I not even know this organization has been around for that long or it existed? It's called Civitan. Have you ever heard of them?
No, I'm not familiar with Civitan.
Yes, it's Civitan. It's like civil, C-I-V-I, and then you get a tan. So it's like civil and you get a tan. So
Okay.
Civitan. So, but what they do, and there's many chapters all throughout the country and other parts of the world, but like I said, been around for 100 years. I've been a part of them for just a little while myself and still learning about the organization, but they do a lot of good work in the community, a lot of different things with different organizations, a lot of it focused on bringing more knowledge and information and helping people with disabilities and in different areas. So it's something that I found that's very beneficial to a bunch of different people in the community. And it might be worth your while. I know you were saying you're trying to get to know people better and get out in the community. Might be a great opportunity maybe for you to join me for one of our upcoming meetings, just to meet some of the other folks in our local chapter and get to know some other people, give you some networking and see where things go from there.
Sure. What kind of projects do you do?
Well, we do all kinds of different things. I mean, we've done some really interesting things. We do everything from helping people make cards for the holidays. We do we call bingo games. We've done some salsa parties, both eating and dancing.
Really?
And yeah, we have a lot of fun, and we invite certainly people to participate, both from community as well as people who are having different disabilities, and we get them involved in it as well. And we also are looking and have done to and plan to do some fundraisers that will benefit some folks in the area as well. So a lot of fun things going on. You kind of get involved in different areas that interest you and become a part of what we're doing as it fits your schedule.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds good. Do you have any information you can give me?
Well, I just so happen to have this trifold brochure on me.
Perfect. Perfect.
Kind of shares a little bit about what we do, kind of gives you the background and talks about us. There's an application on there as well. But before you even go to filling all that out, I would encourage you just to join up with me at one of our upcoming meetings. We'll exchange cards here. I'll send you a little bit of information about our upcoming meeting and invite, and join us there. And then we can talk further after that.
All right. Well, sounds good. I'd be happy to go. And it looks like you meet on Monday evenings. That's good for me. So
Sounds good. I'll even buy the first round.
All right. All right. Sounds good.
All right. Great. I look forward to seeing you there.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Miles. I want to touch on a couple things, and you're free to chat also. What did he do to make it so that I was able to be encouraged? What did he, a couple things that in particular before I mention what I think. Any ideas?
Well, first of all, Miles, if I wasn't already a member of the Capital Region Club, I would become one. You made that sound like it was awesome. Great job.
That's good.
You're too kind, but thank you.
So what else? Anybody chatting yet? There we go.
He connected Civitan to what you like to do.
Connected Civitan to what I like to do. That's good. Good point. Do you think he's going to follow up? The reason I bring that up, there's a lot of times that we talk to people about Civitan, we give them a brochure, we do all this, and we go back and said, yep, I recruited somebody. And then you never hear from them again because you didn't get their contact information. So it's very important. He said, we're going to exchange business cards, and that's very important to get their information so that you can follow up. You may never hear from these people again. They may lose that brochure. They may lose your card if you gave them a card. But if you've got that card right on the back of it, met at the chamber event, met at a party, met at church, invite to next meetings, send newsletter, just give yourself some notes, because as we get older, we don't remember all these different things and people we meet. Yes.
So we got some great feedback. Lori said he gave some fun activities like salsa dancing. Lynn said he got your card and exchanged information.
Good.
Mary said by getting his card, it opened the door for follow-up. And Miles said, get that business card and follow up in 72 hours or less.
72 hours, yes. Good things. All right, do we have any other volunteers that would like to do one more where you would be the person that knows about Civitan? I've got friend or neighbor. So if you have one, maybe you've done it before. Maybe you happen to talk to a neighbor or a good friend about Civitan. I think we got somebody. Who's our next caller?
Angela Newman said, take a picture of the card.
Oh, take a picture. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yep.
Very good, because you also have it date and time stamped then too.
And then Mary said, allow the individual to show how the business can benefit. How his business
How can the
benefit.
business benefit? That's good. All right. Do we have any other volunteers?
I'd be happy to do it and do it with a little bit of a different approach than
All
the
right.
typical Civitan recruiting. What's been successful for me. And everyone, can somebody just say yes, they can hear me clearly? Yes, perfect.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
great. All right. Hey, Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good, good. I haven't seen you in a while. How you been?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Good, good. What have you been up to? Anything exciting? Anything new?
Just work. It seems like I'm working 100 hours a week, lately. So.
Wow. Do you get to do anything fun? Get to go out in the community or go out?
Not too much. Just pretty much work from home, so I don't do too much. So.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's such a bummer.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely love to get you out. What are you doing next Tuesday night? Do you have anything going on?
Tuesday night, this Tuesday?
This Tuesday, yeah.
I don't think I have anything, no.
Oh, that's awesome. You know what? So I'm with this fantastic group of volunteers called Civitan.
Mhm.
And on the second Tuesday of every month, we go to the senior center and play bingo with a lot of the residents there that don't really get a lot of visitors. And
Well, I'm
so-
not that old, so.
Well, and that's the great thing is that they love having younger people
Oh,
come in,
okay.
and you are definitely a younger person. So, and it seems like this Tuesday we're a little bit short on volunteers
Oh, really?
because we've got some folks out of town.
Okay.
Would you mind coming and helping
Well,
me out?
you know, if you're short on volunteer, I do have somebody that I work with that might be able to go too.
Oh my
Would
gosh,
it be
that'd
okay
awesome.
if we invited another person to go along?
Absolutely, that would be great.
Okay.
So what I can pick you guys up if you want,
Okay.
if you want to do that, or I can give you the address to come that
Well,
evening.
go ahead and give me the address, and then maybe we can talk before then and see if we want to go together or go separate or something like that.
Okay, awesome. So what I'll do is
What time is it?
it starts at 7 o'clock
7
and
o'clock,
it's just an hour. So
Okay.
maybe what we could do too is if you want, I can either pick you and your friend up early and we can go to dinner if you want, since
Oh.
I haven't seen you in a little while.
That'd be good.
Or we can go grab a drink or something after,
Okay.
and you guys can. And
Well,
I
let me
can
check
share-
with my friend first and see what his availability is, and we'll go from there.
Perfect. Sounds
All right,
good. So
good.
I'll go ahead and
Okay.
give you a call on Tuesday morning, and we'll make a plan. Does that sound good?
Sounds good. All right,
Awesome.
good
Thank
seeing
you.
you.
I'm so excited.
Uh-huh.
Great. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
All righty. So I think we got some chats coming through during that. Yeah, different approach. Invite them to just a project, a service project. Sometimes that's the great part about our organization, and we go straight to the meeting. Invite them to a meeting, and then they don't want to go to a meeting. Especially younger people don't want to do meetings. So inviting them to an actual event, whether that's a fundraiser that you need extra hands, or service project that you need some extra people, introduce them to what Civitan really is about. Do we have some chats? Some
Yeah,
serious chats?
we do.
You can
so-
skip those that might not be too serious.
No, they're pretty good. So Lori Lewis said, "Good eye contact, Mark," which obviously is very important. But she LOL'd that. And then Mark said, or Miles said, "Mark is truly a young man." He said,
Yay,
"Bring
Miles.
all of your friends, Mark." And then said, "Thank you, Miles. It was a very nice compliment that I'm a pro." And then Lori said, "Love that Mark is bringing a coworker." And then Miles, event volunteers can be a great entry point.
Absolutely.
And that is actually how I've recruited probably 90% of the people that I've recruited into Civitan is invited them to a project first. Because I believe that when you lead with service, people understand the organization, and that allows them to see, all the good that we do before we even ask them to join.
Right.
They're already hooked at that point.
And that's why it's very important to have an active club. Make sure that you have a project coming up. If we have a project a month, you've always got an avenue to talk to people, invite them to an event. I know Capital Region, I think, has got like 3 events in February now, and it's a lot, but you have those opportunities for people to participate as well as to invite others.
Yep. And Mary said, "Yes, events help in connections."
Sorry about the siren going by.
Yeah, sorry, we do live next to a fire department. And Angela was commending me on how I worked in a date with you.
Well, that's why I'm bringing a friend. I'm not sure what her motive is.
And then Miles said, "Pick and choose level of involvement." So that's another thing.
Yeah, that is.
People have the options.
Yeah, Civitan is not where you have to come in and clock in every meeting, or if you miss a meeting, you got to go to a different meeting. You can pick and choose what you want to participate. The other thing is there are some organizations that only allow 1 or 2 people from an industry. Like only 2 insurance agents can be in our organization and so forth. So we don't have a lot of the limitations or the demands on individuals to join our club.
So we have a couple more comments. Linda said, thought it was great, but I don't like it when people ask what I'm doing on a Tuesday without saying what's up, because I panic that I will say I'm free, but it'll be something that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I knew Mark was going to do what I wanted
Yeah,
him
well.
to do. So you're right. That is
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
You know, saying what the project is before you ask them if they're available. And then also Angela said, try to find out their interest during the conversation to tie in how Civitan may complement their interests, common interests during the conversation. Thanks, Miles. Denise is a great influencer. Yes, that is exactly my personality type.
It is. You guessed that right, Miles.
But yeah, so the interest thing, and if whenever I go in and talk to business owners or people I meet at an event, I do more talking to them about finding out what they're interested in and then tying something that I know we do at Civitan. So the last member that I just recruited was, as Mark said, she was recently retired, but she was a school administrator. So when I was talking to her about the projects that we do, we were going to have a gift holiday party at the local school for people with developmental disabilities. And I knew that, you know, being a student or being a school related person, that would be the project that she was interested in. So I told her about that project and said, we really would love to have, you know, some extra people helping. And that's what brought her to the meeting, I think, was that, you know, a project where she could directly work on immediately before she even became a member.
That's great. All right, I'm going to move on. I just checked the time, and I want to make sure that we have opportunity to participate in the rest of the webinar. What is Civitan? And I literally, when I said, what is Civitan, that is what I called it the first time that I heard about Civitan. And so the elevator speech is defined as a short speech, quick enough to tell somebody about something, in this case, Civitan, and the chance to ask them to our next meeting, service project, or social. And here's an example that I have used. Civitan is a community service club made up of people who want to make a difference in the lives of individuals with disabilities, homeless and hungry, children, youth, and seniors. Could you give me your business card or email address, and we'll invite you to our next meeting, project, social, etc. Create your own testimony. And just when I talk about my sister and my nephew, that's something personal to me that I can share with individuals. So think about why you're in Civitan. Why are you a Civitan? Whether that has to do with a family thing or a service project that you're participating in, or what the Civitan International Research Center is doing, all of those different things can be your why. There goes the elevator. Now, it's time to talk about new locations. So most of the presentation up to this point has been kind of duplicating what I have done over many years, because those are the traditional ways for us to be able to meet new people, as well as to communicate and invite them to Civitan. So there are some great new things that we can do. First thing is called fairs and festivals. There are a lot of community festivals and health fairs and disability awareness day fairs that we can participate in. Using social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter are great opportunities to drive awareness, communication, and recruitment to Civitan. Also, Evite. I know Linda's out here from Tyson's Club. She uses Evite for her meetings and inviting people to their projects and socials and their regular meetings. There's also, and I'm researching more on this, but I've heard of clubs using meetup.com and volunteermatch.org as other opportunities. And they're not included in this presentation today, but those are other avenues for new locations to meet people. First one I want to talk about is the festivals and fairs. We participated in health fairs and disability awareness events, and we used more of we are looking for volunteers. You can sign up here. The banners that we had made were only about $100 to make. The tents about $220 at Sam's Club. And you combine that together with, usually they'll provide the table and a couple chairs, and you show up with your brochures and other things to be able to do it. And I'll talk more about that in just a second. I bring this up, I was hesitated putting it in, but I wanted to show you, we basically did the same thing, and created a new club in Las Vegas called the Civitan Car Club. And we did that pretty much in the parking lot. Every Saturday there was this Cars and Coffee car show, and we would set up a tent and table, and we would get individuals to sign up that were interested in that club, and we got them into the organization. Yes.
And Lynn says, FYI, the supply house is working on getting table banners, and she thinks tents. So that
Oh,
might
really?
be a Civitan branded.
Yeah, it'd be great if we had a tent that had the Civitan logo on it. That would be awesome. So let me look at a little bit more in depth on some of these. We talked a little bit about the fairs and festivals, and I'll talk more about that. But Facebook is the social media that we're going to talk about now, and it's where you have your own personal page. You can post things, you can like things, you can have friends, and you can like what they have posted. You can message those friends, almost like a text message you can do back and forth. And then, of course, your club can have a page, and you can have posts, and you can like things as a club page as well. I just sat here doing 3 events on Facebook today. Our new homeschool club, I just posted 2 events for next week, and Civitan Connect, which is our online Civitan club that I helped create 6 years ago. We have Camden Bice, our junior Civitan International president, that's going to be speaking at it. So I used our club page to invite people to events, which in this case will be a speaker meeting. You can post photos and announcements, and you can also pay to boost posts or events. LinkedIn is one of those things that we've talked about before as being a great way to meet new people, literally connect with professionals in the area that you're in, or you're going to be looking for members. You have a personal page, and it's basically providing your resume to out there. And resumes can be good for volunteering, can be good for retired people as well. You can share things that you like, and you can click on like as well. You can have connections and ask for connections, people to connect with you. And then once they're a connection, you can message them directly. The next one down below there too, your club can have a group page or a group that people can participate in. And that can be people that are members or people that are potential members. And you can do posts, and you can do announcements, and the announcements will actually email it to the group member. So you can publicize your events, meetings, volunteer events, and socials, and you can do announcements and awareness.
So Mary says, how can we post events of our sister clubs to post info? Maybe we need to all link our Facebook clubs to Area 4 in our area and other clubs in other areas.
Yeah, the one thing in Facebook is, were you talking about Facebook or LinkedIn?
I believe Facebook.
Facebook. One of the things that is limited in Facebook is you can only invite your own friends to these events. So you really have to have a participation of, number one, the person that's in charge of the page needs to be friends of all the members that are out there so they can invite them. But at that point, let people in your club know that they can also go out and invite other people. So that, therefore, maybe the area director could invite people to like the other pages of club pages, and they would be able to get information from those events and so forth.
So there's 2 suggestions I would make. Make sure that everybody that's on your Facebook and in your club likes the Chesapeake District Civitan page, because I know a lot of times if our Facebook administrator knows that those events are happening, she'll share it on the Chesapeake District page, and then that way everybody can kind of see what's going on throughout the district. Another option is to send that information to Linda Hadley at Civitan Pilot at gmail.com, I think it is. And so she can get that out to the entire district, or specifically say just area 4 or just area 2 or just area 6, and then she can get those out. Obviously, we don't want to inundate her with those, so maybe the bigger events that you want a lot of people to come to, not just your, your weekly meetings, but that's another option for all the club members to use. Oh, sorry, civitanpilot@gmail.com. I was right. Wow.
All right, bear with me 1 second. I'm going to check something here. Oops. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Wanted to make a correction here real quick.
Resume slideshow. Right there.
Actually, trying to get to a different one.
All
Okay. All right, so let's talk about new ways to get people to come and learn more about Civitan. We talked about fairs and festivals, but to give you more information about this, number one, it's a great time of year to do this because it's our centennial celebration, and Len would be happy to help you with that. But why not go out to fairs and festivals and tell people about our 100th birthday? Use the 100th birthday logo. Give giveaways. When we did the Civitan Car Club, we did Krispy Kreme donuts. We had a couple of dozen of Krispy Kreme donuts, and we provided Cars and Coffee free donuts. That got a lot of people to come to our tent. But you can have other Civitan logo wear, or you could have a drawing. Put in their name to win. Lunch at your next meeting or something like that. Yes.
Mary suggested job fairs.
Job fairs would be good. Yeah. In fact, I think that she participates in some job fairs, and that would be good. Now, one of the things is you can just walk around with flyers and meet people and invite them that way, or you can have the table and a tent and so forth. Maybe not a tent if it's indoors. But having some type of giveaway is a fun thing, even if it's little candies or mints or something like that, gathers people in. Some people will actually have activities. For instance, you could have fingerprinting for children. You could have coloring books for children to color. You can have other activities that would be drawing people in, and actually people looking at it and say, well, why are those kids, sitting over there? Have a volunteer sign up, and I've got an example here. Again, you're not asking for members at this point. You're just looking for volunteers. Have a flyer about your club or a club brochure. And of course, the international brochures is always helpful to be able to talk about our international organization.
Miles says, who doesn't like Krispy Kreme donuts?
Exactly my point, Miles. Yeah, that was my one time I would have to try them to make sure that they were okay before I gave any out. So I would have to have at least one then. All right, on Facebook, this is part of our new ways. Create a personal page, number one, and invite your contacts to be your friends. And then have somebody in your club create a club page and invite their friends to like the club page. And then, as I mentioned, create events on your club page for projects, socials, meetings. You can post pictures for the meetings. You can have a background picture and so forth. And then make sure that you invite friends to attend. I can tell you though, when I'm creating these socials or meetings or whatever events I'm working on, I'm inviting new people to introduce them to Civitan. So it's a great opportunity to be kind of indirect in inviting them to these different events. You can post photos, flyers, announcements on your club page, and you can have members share and like it. And that's also good because they can see the fun you had at that service project, or the fun you had at that social, or the speaker that they missed. So they're going to start thinking, hey, I'm missing a lot of activity here. And then you can also message friends from that page and invite them and talk to them individually. Okay, so in LinkedIn, some new ways there. You can create a personal resume profile and invite people to be your connection. Start building up on that, and then have somebody create a club group and invite your connections to join that group. You can create announcements on club group for projects, socials, meetings. You're limited to one a week to actually to send directly. It sends to their feed, it sends them a message, and it also sends them an email. You can only do that once a week. Now, you can always post announcements and photos and flyers and so forth on the club group page, and you can do that every single day if you wanted to. And of course, ask your connections, especially those that are in the club, to share and like what you've posted. And again, you can message friends directly. So I have a script that I send out to the connections and invite them to a specific Civitan meeting or event. The new ways also is to don't go for the closing the sale on joining the club. First, ask them to volunteer, to sign up. Ask them to a social, to meet other individuals and members in the club. Then ask them to a meeting so that they can learn and to help plan these next projects. Keep them informed through emails, more traditional, but also Facebook and LinkedIn, and even using the evites. Post announcements and photos, as I say, so that way they see what they're missing. And then not only ask them to join, but say, I want you to join. I'll be your sponsor, and I'll be the one that'll participate with you and help you with learning what Civitan's all about and so forth. And they may say no for now, but always keep them in mind. Things change in their life, and one quarter can be totally different from the last quarter because of holidays and different things that happen in their lives. So what's next? Civitan Awareness Month is in April. It's a great opportunity to have a centennial celebration, recruitment drive, or recruitment meeting. These are great things coming up very, very soon. And now's the time to start working on those. Don't wait until March, end of March, to start working on this. Being able to get together with the other members in your club and to identify those people that will be invited to the recruitment meeting. It has to start now at your next meeting. We have new clubs, and I mentioned that to you earlier, that there's other opportunities for you to recruit members, siblings, parents, adult children that are in other parts of North America. First of all, in our own district, we have the Paths Connect Homeschool Online Club that is now forming. We're now meeting on Mondays and Tuesdays, so we've made a little change with that. The Charles County Professionals Club is being worked on right now in Waldorf. We have a new contact in Silver Spring, and it looks like we're going to be starting meetings at the end of February, early March. Gettysburg, Hanover, we just met. Our club builders met just this past week, and we've got some focus groups we're going to have at the end of February, early March. And then the Potomac, Maryland Club is going to be looked at soon. We have the new Hoover Middle School Junior Civitan Club that's going to be chartering on February 1st. And so there's been a desire of some people in that area to be able to bring back a Civitan club in that area. And then I also want to put a plug in for Civitan Connect Online Civitan Club. It meets on the second Tuesday of each month. It is totally online. It's been around for 6 years, and we happen to have the Junior Civitan International president, Cameron Bice, that will be speaking. They just came back from Snowdo in a international board meeting for Junior Civitan. So he's going to be our speaker. And then we've got another speaker that's going to be talking about the upcoming 100th centennial celebration that's coming up, or the convention, I should say, in June.
Lynn says, I'll be sending an article to the pilot that will have multiple ideas of what to do for celebrations.
Great. And then also, Linda's working on the pilot for February 1st. I wanted to mention that all of the incentives for club membership recruitment and club building will be listed in the upcoming pilot. And she's going to be sending out real soon here, now that I've given her all the information, she's going to be sending out the notification about the homeschool club. And that's going to go out to everybody and have the new flyer and that I'd like you to share. Now I want to get you to get out your list of 4 blank lines, and I want you, after all of things we've talked about today, I'd like you to go ahead and write in 4 names. I've written down 4 names that I'm going to focus on. Don is a neighbor that I think eventually I'm going to be able to bring up Civitan and invite him. Anne is one of our homeschool parents. She actually has, her daughter is a homeschool parent, so I'm working on Anne and possibly her daughter. And then there's Cheryl and Robert, who are also contacts for the homeschool club. So those are the ones that I'm working on. And here's the catch to this, so to speak, is let's say, for instance, that Anne says no. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in that space with another person I'm going to start working on. So I'm always working on 4 individuals to be able to recruit. Let's say Don joins. Well, then I'm going to replace Don with a different person, and I'm going to work on them. So I'm going to constantly be focused on 4 people, 4 individuals that I'm going to recruit, invite to a project, a meeting, and any one of these clubs, not just your own club. What else is next? Next week, we're going to have a Facebook webinar. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set up a club page and how to use it to communicate and recruit members. That's next Saturday, 4 p.m. And then the Saturday after that is a LinkedIn webinar, how to set up a club group, how to search for connections, and how to communicate and recruit through LinkedIn. We're also going to have these webinars again. We'll probably have this, maybe next quarter we'll have the same series. We'll update a few things as we learn more things. And so, and like I said, we're going to, thanks to Miles, who gave me a link to where we can share the recordings for you if you'd like to have this in your, for other club members to see. Also want to mention to you, I want to send out a survey to you, ask you what you thought of this, of the webinar, what you can think to improve it, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, and so that we can improve on these for future webinars.
And then Mary has asked, can you share the online info?
Oh, for the online Civitan Club, I sure can. It's called Civitan Connect, and I will send that out. We've got the people who attended. We should have your email, and I should be able to get that information out to you. Not only do you rock, but I do have some time for questions if there's anybody that has any questions out there.
Miles says you rock too, and he loves the survey.
Great. Hopefully you'll love the survey when you receive it. I'll probably use SurveyMonkey. So watch your spam, because sometimes that will go into your spam folder. But SurveyMonkey is a great way for us to keep track of surveys and to tabulate them easily. I also would like to find out what you think of this Zoom video. I think it's a great webinar service that we have for the district. So hopefully you can see the benefit of that and be interested in some feedback when you provide your survey.
Lynn says she likes it, and Miles says it works well.
Very good. Thank you.
Mary says yes.
Good. All right. Well, we only have a few more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and stop the presentation, but we'll be here for about 5 more minutes. if anybody would be like to chat or talk offline. Thank you so much for participating. Again, I'm Mark Eisinger, International President from 2009, 2010. And here is my email address, my phone number. I'm also, as you know, on Facebook and LinkedIn, so feel free to reach out to me. Thanks for your help, Denise. She is our governor, so she kind of has to help. She's been helping with the chat. Again, thanks for Lynn joining us, and everyone else out there. Appreciate your participation, and have a great week.
Mary said get to use for recruits as well. I assume she's talking about the Civitan Connect.
Oh, the Civitan Connect. Okay. Yeah, that's a great opportunity to recruit people in the organization that don't have a Civitan club near them. And we have
She
members
said no
throughout
Zoom.
North America.
She meant no Zoom.
Oh, she wants information about Zoom?
No. She said you can use it for recruits as well. Zoom. You can use Zoom as
Oh.
for recruits.
That's a good idea. The other thing we can use it for is to have orientations. A lot of people have orientations in person, but we could also have an orientation through Zoom video.
Absolutely. Especially if you have people that have joined and not necessarily, they're more interested in the projects than the meetings themselves.
Yeah.
It's a great way to have an orientation where everybody does get to at least know who the other people are before they show up to an event.
Right.
So Lori says, I love the virtual seminar. I can attend in my jammies if I want. LOL, thanks. And
Yep.
if you're in your jammies at 4 p.m., then you are someone after my own heart.
But at least you can wear your slippers.
Which I'm wearing. Miles says we can have pajama party online, Lori. And then Angela says make sure your PJs are on. And Linda says even I'm dressed.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that Miles is saying that, but he doesn't have his camera on, so I'm not quite sure what he's wearing out there, and I don't want to know. All right, I think I'm going to stop the recording because it's getting a little out of hand here. But thank you very much, everybody. Like I said, we'll be on for a few more minutes if you have any other questions.
Miles says